All right, thank you for joining us on Let's Do Something. Today we're going to do a Let's Talk with Jen.
Hi.
She is going to talk to us about dating apps and how things are changing in the world of dating and tips and tricks that could help you stand out, things that women expect. So I think this would really help, some people.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I think it would just be kind of like a niche up on how to stand out and how to start creating your relationship.
Yeah, I believe so too. I want to start with essentially the apps that you recommend that you think are the best ones that actually meet serious people that you could actually go on a date with and not just robots and escorts.
No, I definitely think one of the apps I've always found success in is actually Bumble's really good for people that don't want to pay. And then Hinge is a newer app that's out, which is great because it's young professionals that are looking for to meet someone, or they're looking to build something later down the road with their career. Dating apps that are more serious geared that you want to pay, I would say Match is great. And eHarmony, I've never found success on it, but I've heard other stories of it. So
Okay. Now see, I've used Bumble, I've used all of them but eHarmony that you just named. There are minor successes with it.
yeah,
I think they follow the same model as some of the other ones that are less successful. Tinder, that is strictly for hooking up.
for sure.
So I think that's a very successful platform.
If you're hooking up.
So I've used them with varying success, and I think for me what ends up happening is you get someone that's if you don't jump into it right away, someone else already did.
Yes.
But so what would be your least favorite ones, or not favorite?
So, I think Tinder is good if you're, like, for example, vacationing. I loved using Tinder, not for hookups, but actually for dates, for going out, because it's not serious. Those people aren't looking to, be with you. They're kind of like, oh, this person's in town, why not hang out? So I wouldn't recommend Tinder if you're trying to date. I think it was fun to meet people if you're...
And get a free meal.
Pretty much, yeah, you could do that. But then they might expect you to go home with them. Plenty of Fish is just, I don't recommend it. I know back in the day that was the app, or OkCupid. But I would stick with the new ones. The newer ones are working actually quite well. A lot of my friends have had success with them.
See, with Plenty of Fish, actually would probably be the one where I was most successful with getting dates.
Okay.
However, you got 1,000 women out there, and 3 of them are real, and 2 of them are not escorts. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's Plenty of Fish is kind of it's not a very good place to go anymore.
No.
It probably never was, but it's free.
Yeah,
if you're looking for a hooker,
Corbin.
I'm just saying, there are real people out there that are.
Oh, for sure.
So, let's say you're on a dating app, right?
Yes.
And you get a message from a guy, and it just says, "Hey, what's up?" Or "Howdy, how's it going?" What's your reaction?
So I have a number one rule. My rule is match level of investment. Okay? So if they're not really putting much into it, I think a hey or hiya is something like I would say back to them, because it's kind of like, where's your energy, bro? Like, bring it.
Yeah.
We swiped, or we, kind of matched or liked each other. What's going on? I think that if somebody's not putting in the effort, that's a flag there.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Now, in some cases, people you see on their profiles, oh, read the profile before you respond, and then there's like nothing worthwhile chatting about. You're like,
Of course.
yeah, but she's cute. What do I say? Hey, what's up?
So,
Or you come up with something stupid, and you...
it's funny to talk about.
Well, you try to come up with something stupid, and to say a pickup line, you know, if you were a vegetable, you'd be a cucumber.
I think I've laughed at that one a couple of times.
Yeah, I think that's the most overplayed one. But you run into these ones where, you know, the guy actually does put an effort in, pulls from the garbage profile something, and then it sits on red.
Yeah, so here's what's going on with that, okay? And I have 2 theories on this. I have a theory that, one, if you put your whole life story on your dating profile, someone's going to read it and be like, that's not for me. And they're just going to pass up on you, right?
Yeah.
2, you're taking away the mystery of the person. So if you take away the mystery of the person, there's no room for questions, because if you're answering all your questions like, I like dogs, I like to go to walk on Sundays, I like to go to the beach, my hair is red, you're...
you take away every possible conversation starter.
Yes, and that's what's wrong with dating sometimes, is that you're taking away that conversational piece that you need.
Yeah. No, I've had where actually this girl put that she likes canoeing and kayaking on her thing, and I've, you know, like, oh yeah, I was, you know, just up here
with friends.
Yeah, with friends canoeing. You know, it was pretty cool, and the response I got back was, oh, I only did it once when I was like 12, and I'm like, why is this on your profile then? Why?
So they might be inspiring.
Yeah, what is going on here? So things like that happen where I think people just put, like, they click like on all these interests when the app gives you the opportunity. They're like, oh yeah, I like this. Yes, I like that. Oh yeah, I like to go out on the beach and walk.
Yeah.
But do you? No.
So I think one of the reason why that happens is that we all want to be liked. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're putting ourselves out there, and we want people to basically say, like me. You know, this is what I have to offer you. But let your conversation tell that story. Yeah. Give them the mystery, because you give them the mystery, it's like giving them a piece of candy and then taking it away. And to me, that's a win. Yeah, no,
I completely agree with you. And I'm not, and I want to go a little bit back to where I'm saying the guys are doing this. It happens with the women too. There are sometimes where I get, you know, hey, how's it going? Or, hey, handsome. And you're like,
not really.
Where's that effort at?
Yeah.
Where's that? So I think that goes back and forth between all of it. So I think the next part we want to talk about is you actually spark up the conversation. You guys are going, you know, few days of talking. At what point do you go, okay, let's meet? What would be your range?
So with mine is kind of a little different from experience. I would say that if the conversation
10 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Serial dater.
We actually
just kidding.
met on a dating. No.
No, we didn't. We I actually met him
Tender?
through.
No.
No, I met you through mutual friends.
Yeah.
Andrea, she did a podcast with Corbin earlier. But anyways, so I think it's acceptable if you're hitting it off and the conversation's going okay. It's okay for him within, like, I want to say, it's going to be your discretion, but I would say it's okay if 15 minutes later he says, hey, do you want to grab coffee? I'm having a lot of fun chatting with you. To me, that's great, because that means that he's trying not to be or she's trying not to be your pal pen.
So that's not being too pushy.
No.
Okay. So.
Because someone being a pal pen is kind of a red flag, right? Because
pen pal.
Yeah, well, that's that dyslexia. No, you know, those are red flags, and you want to stay away from that because you want to meet the person. Your goal is to meet somebody. So if you're doing the pen pal stuff, where's the opportunity to meet somebody?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think within the day, I think that's just a little too sudden.
Okay. I mean, it's your discretion.
Now, as a man,
mm-hmm.
when a woman says, "Hey, you want to come over," and you've only said a paragraph to each other, you know, if that.
That's way different.
Or even if it's only been an hour, that to me is either I'm going to get sex trafficked, It happens to men.
Yes, it does. Yes,
Yeah.
ladies, it just doesn't happen to y'all.
I'm going to get mugged, or she's going to ask me for money. Mm-hmm. So me personally, I don't think it's acceptable to be like, oh, right then, because it's it's a scary world. You might get mugged, you might get sex trafficked,
you might get your wallet taken.
Yeah, you might, or I mean, you might end up with a hooker, and then you have herpes.
Corbin.
So
PG. No,
hey, I haven't sworn.
But what I'm saying is that like you can ask, but I'm not saying go over their house. I'm saying meet them for coffee 2 days later.
Yeah, a
Make
public
a date.
setting.
Yes,
I think would
make
be
a
the
date.
best, and not the same day.
Yeah, and not everybody likes to go to the bar. Not everybody likes to go for coffee or go out to dinner.
Well, I don't like coffee. I do like the bar.
Or you could go for cake. I went on a date that actually we went and got cake, and it was a blast. We're friends now, but we had a blast. I love cake, by the way.
Yeah, it wasn't that much of a blast if you're friends now.
Well, I'm
joking.
Political views.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Okay, so then I guess we got how soon you can go on the first date. What do you expect on that first date?
Okay, so you should go into the first date with an open mind. And sculpting someone is wrong. So, I always say that, like, go in there with an open mind and don't think that, I can change that, or, that's fixable, or seek to understand. So I always say ask open-ended questions, seek to understand, and, ask questions, have a conversation, be real, be yourself. Don't paint yourself to be for them to like you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can get behind all of that. Dutch?
Dutch?
Do you go Dutch?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dutch? No, I know what you mean. So you gotta feel the vibe.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, you gotta feel the vibe. So
Okay.
if, for example...
But should the woman expect that should they expect the man's paying? Because...
Well, if he says, I'm going to take you out, then yes. Okay? If he says, hey, do you want to meet? That's a little different.
So it's that clarification.
It's that clarification.
Does make a big difference.
It
saved me a lot of money.
No, I would have been. I'm more like this. So like if they're asking, this has always happened to me. Is like, when can I take you out? So that means they're asking you out, okay? Mm-hmm. If they say let's meet, that's kind of like, hey, let's see if we like each other, and they're not ready to do like, hey, I'll pay for you. They might do it out of courtesy, being nice, but I would just do Dutch unless they say, hey, when can I take you out?
Okay. I would definitely say, yeah, that clear definition of it definitely does make sense.
And don't be scared to say, and this is one of the things I liked about doing the dating apps, is if someone said, like, when can we meet, but they were flirting, but they were saying, I want to take you out, and they weren't giving me clear signs, it's okay to flirt back and say, oh, are you trying to take me on a date? Then that's kind of, be playful. It's okay to be playful.
That's you're going to buy me food.
No, it's the playful of like, all right, are we dating, or what? Are we going to start dating? What's going on?
So at what level of fanciness for the first date do you think would be acceptable for these things? Because, obviously people are always, let's go get coffee. I've never done the let's go get coffee. I don't like coffee, but at the same time, it's always been a lunch or a dinner or something like that. But you go to, say, dinner with someone, do you go to like Denny's? Do you go to
I think it depends.
Applebee's?
Yeah, I think it depends on who you are.
Yeah.
So
McDonald's? I mean, if a girl asked me to go out and she's like, let's go to Arby's for, first date, and I'd be like, you're asking me out, so you're buying. Because Arby's is expensive.
We're getting everything off the menu.
Yeah, they got the meats, though. So, I would say... obviously a nicer, more casual restaurant, but not like super high end. I know sometimes, the women have said, let's go to this thing, and then you look it up and you're like, it's got $5 signs. Well, hey, you're getting White Castle.
So I think that's a great question to ask. I really think it depends on what area you live in and like your personality and who you are. So, for example, my dates, I would usually end up going to, I like to go to breweries. I'm not a super big beer drinker. However, I like meads, wines, and that sort of thing. So we would either go
Those
to...
things are gross.
It's okay. You have your opinion.
Or nothing.
Or I'd go to a winery, or we would go to wine tasting. It really depends on your style and who you are, and if that's the person they are too. So you kind of can meet and have that low ground. Now, there's some people that are that have different tastes and styles, but that's okay, and it works out that they date. You just have to find that common ground of, like, you know, you might ask those questions in that dating app where it says, like, he's like, well, I like breweries, and you might be like, well, I like wine. Well, meet somewhere that we know that most breweries don't have good wines, but
or good brews.
Or good brews. Or so just have a common ground, or, you know, or go get pie. Again, everybody loves pie.
You were talking about cake earlier, not pie.
But that's okay. I love pie too.
All right. So I guess after that, let's say they go out, they get pie or cake or whatever.
Yeah.
The date's over. They part ways, however that may be, whether it's... I mean, there's no more of the stereotypical dropping them off at their house anymore for the first date.
Yeah.
That's completely gone out the window. But... let's say it goes, it's done, you think it went very well. As a woman, how long do you wait to hear back from the guy?
Well,
or expect?
Yeah, well, I don't really do that. So if I like you, you'll know. So I'll use my example. My boyfriend now, when we went on our date, I knew right away that I liked him, and I knew that he liked me. We had that spark. So instead of waiting that... and where we met was in Detroit, so I had to go to my parking structure, and I said, hey, when I get to my car, I'll text you and let you know that I made it to my car, and we'll set up another time to see each other. And he was like, that's fantastic. So you can tell when it's genuine, and then you can tell when it's not. So
genuine.
Yeah, I totally messed that up.
I was like,
it's all right.
You talking about a rapper?
Yeah, no, it's all right. Maybe.
Like, her boyfriend's a rapper. Genuine.
No, so, you know, you just gotta figure out what's good for you, and feel it out. It's all about feeling out that person, and if it's a bad date, yeah, I don't think so.
So, let's say you think it went wonderful.
Okay.
And you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to see this guy again.
But I mean, slow down, I'm probably not going to act that way, though.
I've talked to you after a couple of these, and there's been one or two, I think, where you're like, oh, I'm so, you know, I went on the best date of my life, and this was wonderful. And I know that they've called you back, but how long do you wait before you're like, oh, that's probably not happening, or before you reach out?
So, I don't like to play the game of like, oh, does that person like me, or are they going to call me? So I like to put the feelers out, and that's okay to put feelers out. That's totally okay, because you let the person know where you stand. So putting feelers out, or like, hey, don't tell them your whole schedule for the week to say that I'm open. Say, hey, Slack close them. Say, hey, I'm available Tuesday or Saturday this week. Do you think you want to get together? And then that will kind of put feelers. They'll even tell you, like, yeah, I'd love to get together with you. Or they'll be like, no, I'm really busy. Work got really crazy. And then, you know, ladies or gentlemen, if you hear that, that's a clear sign that it wasn't good.
Well, there's, you know, that slim
Don't
chance.
even give them hope.
Yeah, so that brings us to the next part is, let's say it was a bad date for you. And they thought it was great, and they're blowing up your phone like, oh my God, I want to hang out with you. Oh, you were so wonderful. Oh, blah, blah, blah. At what point do you go, calm down?
So
it wasn't good.
So
this isn't working.
Yeah, so you can give feedback, and I think feedback is a gift, right? So we all want to hear about, like, you know, oh, they didn't like me. Why didn't they like me? So it's okay to say, you know, like, hey,
I've never experienced that. Everyone loves me.
Oh, well, it must be I love the Corbin shirts, you know?
Yeah.
So
nobody knows that.
So basically what that means is,
I have
like...
3 stalkers right now. Not including you.
I know. So I just totally forgot where we were at. I guess what you would have to do in that point is just be straight and be honest with them. Like, don't be scared to hurt someone's feelings. What hurts someone's feelings is breadcrumbing them. Do not breadcrumb them.
Yeah, I think
Tell
that would
them.
be the best thing is to say, yeah, this is not going anywhere.
Or you could literally say, listen, like, I think you're great, you're funny, but this isn't what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And to be straight and honest, and if they said, well, why isn't it what I'm looking for, is don't take it as them being, like, desperate. Feedback is awesome. You can just be like, hey, you know, like, this part of your life is, like, I just don't see myself in it.
A little constructive criticism can work, too.
Yeah, of course.
Another thing that I would say, in my experience, is you never friend zone someone. Because if you do that, it's like, yeah, it always gives that false hope that the door is open.
So my boyfriend says that there's a really good thing to that. So if you friend zone someone, it's like, you could say it's vagina in a jar or a penis in the jar. It's a comedian joke.
It for later, right?
Yep, and what you do is you screw the lid on and you stick it up on a shelf. And then it says break in case of emergencies.
Yeah. So
and you have all those penises and vaginas on shelves then.
Yeah. I think if you were to go out on a date with someone and go, oh, it's not going to work, but we can still be friends, it's don't contact them for a month and say, hey, you want to hang out?
Yeah.
You have to actually make it to where they are aware that you are not interested. I've been on the giving and receiving end of friend zone.
And believe it, I have too.
You know.
Yeah, no, I have too. And when somebody said that to me, it was like, oh, they didn't like me. But then I was like, well, somebody else likes me, so your dating app. Yeah. Look at all your dating apps.
Yeah, it's different for women because obviously you go on a dating app and you swipe right 20 times and you get 19 swipes back to you, or 19 matches within 30 minutes.
It's insane.
So, whereas a guy, and any guy can attest to this, it is you swipe right on 400 and you get 1 or 2 back to you. Unless you have a dog in your picture.
Yeah, girls love dogs,
then,
just so you know.
Then it instantly goes up to 200, but they might not ever respond.
So I just want to pull up my Hinge really fast and just kind of go over that. So, like, just to kind of show you, like, this, I have, like, scrolls and scrolls and scrolls of, like, people. So, like, say, like, so-and-so does. You thought so-and-so was really cute. And he's not responding. Remember, you have more in there. And those people have the same thing happening to them. So what's happening to you is happening to them. So they're feeling that. And then just keep in mind that with the dating apps, because dating with these apps is at the touch of your fingertips, that you can have anybody you want, right? It is true.
I cannot get Anna Kendrick at the touch of my fingers.
So being a woman and...
yes, being a woman, you could get Anna Kendrick.
Probably. But, no, so you can literally have anyone at the touch of your fingertips because these apps allow you to communicate with all these people at once. So you can talk to 20 different people. So just keep in mind that those people are having the same things happen to them.
And I think a lot of people get into this whole thing where they don't understand there's a difference between dating and then being a girlfriend and boyfriend.
Of course.
At some point, you are girlfriend and boyfriend, it's time to delete the apps. But just because you've gone on 2-3 dates with someone, it doesn't mean that you're in a relationship.
Of course.
So I know that there's a lot of things like that where people are like, oh, I've been on 1 date with this guy, we're getting married. And you're like...
That's my girlfriend, Christina.
No. So it's a very horrifying experience. But at the same time, I think everyone goes, oh, that went really well, blah, 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 this is the love of my life. And then they just immediately limit their options.
Yes. So
and it's not a good thing to do.
No. So I'm going to reference back to what I said about having so many people. As you saw, like, I'm no longer on my dating apps because I'm with my boyfriend. And we'll call him Christian Grey. So,
it brings up a whole list of questions.
Shh. So, with it being said, if you scroll down, you have all these people. So don't put all your eggs in one basket. And the reason I say that is because you want to create a sense of urgency. Just like in sales, right? We know people that are in sales, they create a sense of urgency to get the client to buy in. It's like you're not selling yourself, but you're not selling yourself short. You don't want to get into that trap. You don't want to do girlfriend things or boyfriend things if you're not made that priority. It's called matching the level of investment. It's key.
Yeah, I think that would definitely help a lot of people out there.
I think they try too hard. I think they do boyfriend and girlfriend things, and you need to be open and have those conversations.
Yeah, if someone's not putting the same amount of investment into it, then you're done. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, just think of it this way. If a guy texts you, I'll use this for example. If he
hope a guy doesn't text you.
A guy or a girl texts you and they say, "Hey, what's up?" And then you're like, "What? I haven't heard from them. They're back from the dead?" And then they say, you didn't respond because you're like, well, whatever. And then they text you again.
My usual one is 2 o'clock. You up?
Oh my God, that's hilarious to me.
It's the most successful text in the world.
That's another subject, and I'll teach you how to deal with that in the next video. But
I don't need to deal with that.
our viewers do. So basically, you just got to match the level of investment. I'd have open questions about like, hey, we're doing boyfriend and girlfriend stuff, but like I don't see the progression. Where do you see us going? Do you see a future? You have a right to ask that. And if you're only dating 3 weeks, don't be that psycho that's like, all right, are we boyfriend and girlfriend? Yeah. You should date for a month, 2 or 3 months until you say, I like this person enough to be my girlfriend.
I know this girl that she went on one date with this guy, and he sent her a text the next day when she was hanging out with a bunch of her friends saying, I would really appreciate it if you told me when you're going out with your male friends. I feel very uncomfortable about it.
Ew.
They went on one date, and it was one day later.
No,
I went, I told her, this is going to set the precedent for your entire relationship. He's very controlling, very manipulative. So obviously there's something wrong with him where he has to feel like he's in control. Probably a micro penis.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But ladies, gentlemen, if somebody's sending you that kind of message and you've only been on one date, bye.
Yeah.
See ya. I hope the door doesn't hit you on the way out. Like, no thank you. No. You have so much more to give someone than somebody keeping tabs on you? Really?
Yeah. It's some people are a little crazy. That being said, if you have Snapchat and you add these people as friends, don't share your location with them because people are weird.
Well, I have a rule about that. So, like, when I'm dating someone, I don't invite them over to my house, right? Until I've known them a while, then it's okay to have them over. So my current boyfriend didn't come over for 3 months. And he would ask me, well, why can't I come over? And I said, well, because we're not boyfriend and girlfriend, and I don't invite anyone to my house. And he goes, well, you come over here. I go, but that's because you invite anyone to your house.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and was like, ouch. And I was like, well, no, I'm not saying anyone, but I'm saying anyone.
Okay. Well, I think we could wrap it up on that. Don't invite strangers to your house. Very good tip. Probably the best tip that we had tonight. So, I want to thank Jen for joining us on this Let's Talk.
Thank you for having me.
We'll do another one, possibly continuing on the same subject of dating and dating apps, unless we come up with something different later on. Of course.
I got ideas.
Yeah. Yikes. She's in it for the long haul.
Always and forever.
But, all right. Well, I think that's it. We did a Let's Talk. Make sure you hit that like button, smash the subscribe button. What's the other list of things to do? Comment. Find me. I'm Jenn Bandit on Instagram. You can chat with me, ask me questions. I wouldn't ask her any questions. You'll be disturbed. All right.